car. I'm in Medina, Ohio, talking to Bill Hill. This is Bill Hill. It really is. Listen, you can hear that. It's Bill Hill from Mighty Auto Pro. Here's the real Bill Hill. Come on in. Doesn't he just look like his picture? Amazing. We're at Mighty Auto Pro. We had an incredible tour, and I am sitting here with a million questions that I want to talk to Bill and Leigh Anne about. But first, great high fives to Dorman.
Knuckles. We all know are important connection points between the wheel and the vehicle suspension, connecting hubs, bearings, calipers, struts, and control arms. Steering and suspension knuckles often need replacement after collisions, curb strikes, or rust-related issues, and bearings can simply wear out, often after 75,000 miles. Unfortunately, when it comes time to replace a knuckle or a press-in bearing, there's often rust. That can result in hours of labor that require a shop press and risks potentially damaging the knuckle or backing plate. Dorman has created a time-saving solution with their loaded knuckles. These knuckles are complete assemblies that are tech-preferred. They are an easy bolt-on solution for difficult bearing and knuckle replacements that save significant time and money for you and your customer. An OE Fix is a Dorman repair solution you can't get from the original equipment manufacturer, and it means they found a situation where they believe the OEM wasn't giving repair professionals what they wanted, so we fixed it. Everything Dorman does is centered around providing customer value, both in the quality of products and the creativity of solutions. Our engineers and designers, well, they go out of their way to save repair technicians time and save vehicle owners money. Replacing rear wheel bearings on some Toyota trucks can be extremely frustrating. The bearing housing often becomes damaged when the old bearing is pressed out or when the new bearing is pressed in. Not only that, but a shop press may or may not be available. To assist with jobs like this, Dorman has developed a 90-plus minute time-saving solution with their OE Fix pre-assembled axles. These bolt-on solutions eliminate the uncertainty of performing this basic repair with all of the major components such as the axle, bearing, backing plate, bolts, and seals already assembled and ready to install right out of the box. Want to learn more about Dorman's innovations? Well, visit dormanproducts.com/tour. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and thanks.
Hey, we're back, and I got to tell you, it's been an incredible day. You're going to hear an awful lot about it on the podcast, about the check presentation to Brakes for Breast. And this is one of the co-founders, Leigh Anne Best. And I got to tell you, it was an incredible day. Thank you so much for inviting us to the Cleveland Clinic.
Oh, thank you both for coming. It was amazing.
And I have to manage the microphone better, and so we can't wait to tell you a whole lot about what's going on. And I'm not quite sure when that episode's going to hit, but please keep your ear to the ground for a lot of great information on the value and the purpose of Brakes for Breast's program. Bill Hill. So we're here at Mighty Auto Pro, and Bill, I spent an hour walking through, meeting every technician. We've done a shop tour on Aftermarket Weekly before, but I got really inside the 2023 goals that you have, your volume goals, your training goals. I am so impressed, and I guess part of what I think we should talk about in a little bit of this segment, because I got a million things I want to talk to you about, but why is it important to have the team right behind the sales goals and their training goals?
To be honest with you, we all have to be pulling in the right direction, right? If I'm trying to do one thing, if I'm trying to do a huge goal, but my staff isn't on board and they don't know what I want, they don't know why I'm pushing and pulling and insisting that they go through the training and why I want that extra car that day or that week or that month. So unless I tell them and give them an indication of where we're at, what my goal is, where we're at on a regular basis, and are we on point or off point, then it's like, what do they say? Any road will get you anywhere.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we're all headed in the same direction, so we all pull together as a team.
A few years back, you did a For the Record rant with us, and you explained to the rest of the world how important training was, and that you put up a Christmas time bonus for the hours that they invested. And I got to tell you, and it was Leigh Anne that showed us just before we came on camera here the listing of the number of hours that the technicians have in training. And I'm so impressed with that, because at this shop, it's what, minimum 40 hours a year that you want to see in training?
Correct. It's, 40 hours a year.
40 hours a year, and I thought I saw one of your people almost is there, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have one of our guys that's just almost there, and then we have another that's got 22 hours. I mean, if you think about it, 40 hours is 3.3 hours a month. So that's the requirement. And some of our guys have almost already achieved that for the year, and not to mention the ASEs as well.
I recently wrote about training being a pillar in the strategy of your company, that it has to be there. Let me see. As today ends, there's going to be so much new technology that's coming out on vehicles, or classes are being created on systems and processes built inside the vehicle that we don't even know that exists. And how do we stay up to date and current? And that's why training is critical. I've seen flyers all over. There's this course, there's that course, there's this online course. So the company does the research and puts it up in front of the team. I mean, I know they want to look on their own, but you're also saying, we found this, we found this, we found this. If you're ready to sign up, and oh, by the way, you pay for it.
Yes, we do pay for it, and I think it's important for us as a team to acknowledge the fact that we all need training. And what I love best, when we first started this training, 40 hours a week, it was mandatory. It was 10 years ago. And
40 hours a year.
40 hours a year. I'm sorry. It was mandatory, and we got a lot of pushback from our staff because they already know everything. They don't want to go to it. And eventually, once we got them on board with being a part of it, it became something all on its own. It grew beyond anything I could believe. And here's the fun part, Carm. We provided to them what they can see, where they can go, what kind of classes they want, and they call each other out. What do you mean you're not going to that class? I'm going to that class. You should be going to that class because I'm going. I know more than you, and we don't have to push them anymore. They push themselves.
Yeah. I'm so impressed and fascinated by the culture of training that exists here. And even though you have come on my show in the past, I love bringing up recurring important themes. One of them is this one of training, but also ASE, Bill. I know you're a big proponent of ASE, and I saw a lot of, I talked to one of the technicians and I said, how about the ASE patch on your shirt? He says, it's coming because I have qualified.
That's correct. We believe in acknowledging what they do. It's important. There's a lot of time and effort that goes into that, and it's important for us to be able, as a company, to acknowledge the fact that you went through the training, you passed the class, and now that badge, it's a badge of courage, acknowledgement, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So walking around with those badges means something.
Yeah.
It means something to our staff. It means something to me as a company. And, you had talked earlier about, hey, a guy goes home, and he's on his way home and picks up a bottle of milk. Having all those patches, that's pretty impressive, right? And it's just, it actually, I think, my opinion, brings out a lot of pride in them.
Yeah.
They're very prideful of that.
And the other thing that I'm so impressed with is, I said, does this all have to be automotive? And the answer is, it doesn't. It's to tell us about, Leigh Anne, what other kinds of trainings do you say, hey, take them and we'll pay for it and we want it to be included in your 40 hours?
Of course, because Bill and I both believe that if you're not learning, you're not growing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to necessarily be auto repair related. So an example would be Michael, one of our ASE Master Certified Technicians, recently took a 6-hour flooring class on the weekend. Skylar is right now reading How to Win Friends and Influence People. Reading a good mind-opening book counts. Once Skylar's done with that, that's a prerequisite for her going to Toastmasters. So she's going to be joining Toastmasters. We've had folks take photography classes. So we want them to focus primarily on what they do for a living, but we also believe that we want to pique their outside interests as well and make them better.
If you're not excited and you don't want to change your training strategy, then turn the episode off. Just turn it off, be done with it, because we're going to break some more new grounds. Technician. Recently, Josh, am I right? Josh went from, no, it wasn't Josh.
No, it was Michael.
It's Michael, from technician to service advisor.
That's correct. He is in the process. He's our service advisor apprentice, is what we like to call him. He is an excellent technician, had some physical problems with his hands, approached us about becoming a service advisor, and we put together a training process for him. We put together a list of things he had to do. And I think I mentioned to you, what I said to him at the beginning was, what you'll get out of this is what you put into it. And it's going to require a lot of work on your end at the beginning. And he's put the time in, and he's only been doing it a month. I think he's already sold, I'll just say significant amounts. I don't know the exact number, but like we leave him on his own now. We don't babysit him. We don't stand behind him and make sure he's saying properly. He goes through the process. He listens to his phone calls to make sure what he does well and what he needs to work on. So he's his own worst critic, and he's done a fabulous job.
Well, I met everybody in the shop, and one of the things that I did to Joe, right?
Josh?
Josh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I met so many people.
Lots of people, I get it.
Yeah, but I asked him, I said, did you ever listen to your own phone recordings?
Yeah.
And he said, yes. And I says, what was the biggest takeaway? He goes, overselling. I have to learn when to shut up, because the cool thing about being a technician, they know so much that's going on with the repair, and they keep selling. And he says, I already sold the job and I kept selling it.
So we tell him, shut up. Why don't you make the sale?
Right?
And so
Exactly.
the beauty of listening to the call, and he listened to it himself, am
Yes,
I right?
absolutely.
And he walked, and he says, well, what did you learn? Did you listen to a few phone calls? And he goes, my God, it just hit me upside the head. The value, and everybody argues, I hate listening to my own voice, so I'm not going to listen to my own calls. Well, that's a mistake. And if you own the business, make it work. Tell your people this is what they need to do. And if they go out and listen to 5 or 10 calls, they need to walk away with a learning curve, because guess what? In every portion of life that we walk down every aisle, we're not perfect at it.
No, absolutely not. And one of the things Michael, the service advisor, who's a new service advisor, one of the things Leigh Anne and I ask him every day when he walks out the door, did you learn something new today?
Yeah.
And he does. Every day he learns something new. And that means he's growing, and we're proud of him.
So another big takeaway here is that so many of the marketing programs that shops like Mighty Auto Pro have a roadside assistance program. And you guys have seemed to take it to another level by making sure that your customer knows they have that. I mean, listen, every dealer, quote unquote, dealer marketing program from all the big suppliers have roadside assistance. I bet you 95% of them have it. But you take it to the nines. Give us a little bit of what happens after the sale.
Sure, Carb. Yeah, we believe in providing as much value to our customers as possible. So after they have left here, we first send them a thank you card. A few days later, if they're a new client, we send them a new client folder. And a few days after that, and the reason we space these out is we don't want the customer to just get all the mail at once. We want a little rain.
Yeah.
But the roadside assistance package is really cool. It comes in a red Mylar envelope with a big bright yellow label on it, hand addressed to the customer. Inside that envelope, they'll find a letter from Bill, the owner, very impressive. And Bill's going to let them know that they have this really cool roadside assistance plan available to them, which right now is up to $150 reimbursement for most likely a towing incident, or perhaps a lockout or a dead battery, or I need gas, something like that. So it also comes with a business card from Bill Hill, the owner. In case they need a tow after hours, they can feel free to call him. He'll arrange it. It also comes with another card that talks about the roadside assistance and how they can go about getting the roadside assistance. So not only do we prompt them in the letter to put that roadside assistance card in their or in their wallet, but we also say put that sparkly red Mylar envelope with the details in your glove box, so it's readily available.
Is that the envelope with the $1,000 bills in it?
No, that's the new client folder.
The new client folder.
$1,000 bills in
We
it.
saw that, and you can see through it, right? So when you get it, there's these $1,000 bills in it. Of course, they're not real, unless you're ready. Maybe you can adopt me or something.
Yeah, no, that's a super cool
I got a
marketing
theme
piece
like that
also.
going on at home. More than half. When you see these envelopes, you just look at them and say, "This is so different." And oh, by the way, I can see through this. It's just brilliant to get someone to want to open it.
Mm-hmm. It absolutely is. I mean, how can you not? You see the see-through envelope, you see the $1,000 bills, you know they're fake, but still you've got to see what's inside.
Bonus, we talked about these envelopes. Leigh Anne, walk us through them.
Absolutely. So as you can see, we love this shiny, sparkly red Mylar envelope with a very bright label from Mighty Auto Pro. Enclosed is your free gift of roadside assistance. Who wouldn't open this up, right? And then when you get inside of it, you're going to get, first of all, a letter from the owner, Bill Hill. And it's talking about the fact that you're entitled to $150 worth of reimbursement for perhaps towing, lockout assistance, assistance with gasoline or batteries. So it's a personalized letter from the owner. You can see it's not terribly long. We like to keep things to the point. Then they get a copy of the actual program guidelines, and then they get a little business card that talks about the program, and you can see that's even personalized on the back. It talks about the date, good for 1 year from your service date of 4/4/23. It talks about the vehicle it's good for. In the letter from Mr. Hill, the owner, it encourages them to put this in their wallet, put this back in their red envelope, and put the red envelope in their glove box. So if they have a breakdown, they have the red envelope in their glove box, they have this in their wallet, and that's going to be a great little entree to Mighty Auto Pro. So we've gotten a lot more tow-ins because of this, because there's no thought of going anywhere else. It's like, oh, Mighty Auto Pro has the roadside assistance. So great little perk.
Love it. Now, this is the new customer one, right?
It is.
And so it's clear looking.
So this is cool. I mean, when you get it in the mail, the envelope is translucent, so you can see the $1,000 bill. And we're all about systems and procedures here at Mighty Auto Pro. So every time you see one of these, it looks exactly the same. $1,000 bill in the front. You can see the Mighty Auto Pro brochure kind of peeking through the back. Another $1,000 bill, just to keep the interest flowing. Inside the translucent envelope, you're going to have 25 great reasons to bring your car to Mighty Auto Pro. So that's going to outline all of the things that we offer to our customers. You're also going to get a letter, another letter from Bill Hill. Bill, the owner, is so darn busy writing letters to his customers. It's like, I don't know how the man sleeps, truly. And then on the back of this letter, and so on the back of the letter is testimonials from our customers talking about, how great Mighty Auto Pro is. The letter outlines what's in their envelope. First of all, they have a business card from Bill Hill, the owner. Cool thing about this, his cell phone number's on here. So if you need anything after hours or during the day, feel free to call the owner. If you have a little issue you need resolved, hopefully not, but you can call the owner literally. How often do you go into a place of business and the owner's like, here's my card, call my cell phone. Secondly, they're going to get this awesome referral card, and although you can't really see it, it's the thickness of about 2 or 3 business cards. It's a very thick referral card. And we're encouraging them to give the gift of a free oil change to a friend, a neighbor, a coworker. In return, if that person comes in for their free oil change or $45 off their first service, we are going to send the person who gave it to them $45 in Mighty Money, which is just like cash here at Mighty Auto Pro. So this is a true win-win for everybody. And lastly, the little bring back for them is a scratch off. They can get $25, up to $25, to come back to Mighty Auto Pro and pay us another visit. So lots of goodies in here.
One of the things I liked is you've already put the customer who you sent this to's name on the back, so there's no question who gave the referral.
Yep, and the magic to that is that most of the time, if you receive something with your name on it, it's hard to throw away. You want to keep it.
I love it. What a great tour. The envelope lady.
Thanks, Carm. Thanks, Tracy.
So, Medina, how many people are in this town?
It's about 35,000.
35. So many of you can relate to a size town, and you got what, 10,000 square feet here?
Yes.
I mean, it's a huge place. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's a huge place. It's got 17 bays.
17 bays. And you're not like in the middle of town. You're off to the side.
No, we are actually, when we first bought Mighty Auto Pro, we actually marketed it as we're on the quiet side of town.
The quiet side of town.
So we're in the middle of a residential area.
So you got to drag people in.
Yes.
And you drag people in here because of the most incredible marketing. In fact, when we walked in, our name was on the whiteboard.
Yes.
And they just fixed it for tomorrow's clients. The digital menu boards, the Keurig, everything that you could possibly ever think you'd want for kids and and food if I was hungry. And of course, when we walked in, Skylar says, "Do you need the Wi-Fi?" And so it is so customer friendly and so customer centered. What an incredible place. And part of the new customer kit, I believe, is a pamphlet for 25 reasons.
Correct.
So if you're not creating something, like, you would be probably more than willing to help people, send them, even if they want to steal a few ideas. But sit down with your people and say, what would be the 25 reasons? No, I have a better idea. Ask every customer for the next 2 weeks, why do you shop with us? And that 25-point pamphlet will write itself in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. It's it's not hard to come up with 25 reasons. And obviously our top 3 are always going to be our loaner vehicles, making the transaction convenient, our shuttle service within a 5-mile radius, and then another one is our free towing up to $50 with diagnostic and repair. So those tend to be our top 3.
And finally, Bill, do you remember the number you guys were talking about, how much money that 150 roadside assistance, how much did you get back?
In the month of March, it brought in $10,000 in business.
Let that resonate. Those people are retentive customers. They come back for the reason they realize the value in that feature that you have for them. And it was $10,000 worth of repairs because that vehicle came back here.
Yes, because they got the ability to have something towed here for free.
And then you, through a credit, you give them back their money.
Well, they pay us, and then TechNet provides them with a check.
Okay.
So, and we actually initialize that for them. We want to make it effortless, right?
Got it.
So Leigh Anne's idea about it is to make everything that we do effortless. When a customer walks in the morning, we want them out of here within 3 minutes, right? And at the end of the day, we want them out of here within 3 minutes. So everything that we do is to make everything effortless. So we'll provide the ability to get them reimbursed for the towing.
Well, this was so much fun. I know how valuable your time is. Thank you for having Tracy and I out, and we were so honored to be part of the check presentation. I'm not going to tell you how much it was. You've got to watch the episode that we're going to do on Brakes for Breasts, but it was the largest, I think, amount ever.
Pretty close.
Pretty darn close.
Pretty darn close.
And we also had a chance to see the lab where they have created and worked on the technology to create this breast cancer vaccine. If you're not participating in Brakes for Breasts in October, brakesforbreast.com. Bill Hill, thank you so much.
Well, my pleasure. And I would always say this, Carm. One of the things I think that you've always said is high tide raises all ships.
Yeah.
And I think that what you do with these types of things is just wonderful.
Well, if the people who are watching this don't do something with this and don't get motivated by what Bill and Leigh Anne have presented to you here, or you just listen to learn just one thing, please, thank you so much.
Thank you, Carm and Tracy, and thank you for all you do to help us promote Brakes for Breasts.
Love it.